Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be doing my episode review for last night's most recent episode of Scream, the TV series. Now, before I go on and I start blabbering on too long, of course, as usual with all of my episode review videos, especially for shows like Scream, the TV series, please be warned that I will be discussing massive spoilers regarding the most recent episode. So if you're not caught up on Scream, if you're behind one episode or two, do not continue watching or listening as I will be revealing a lot. And once you are caught up, come on back and give it a watch and a listen. I think you'll like what you hear. So you have been warned. That being said, good episode. Very good. You know what the best part was? Is that they could make it a good episode without anybody dying or having the killer even appear, because we don't know if what Emma saw was technically a hallucination or if the killer was indeed there on the other side of that glass of that room she was locked in. We don't know. But it was a good, intense episode. I really liked it. So the school, just a quick little recap, school went into lockdown because of Jake's body being falling from the banner in the auditorium. Everybody's put in the learning center while the sheriff and his deputies question everybody. It was very reminiscent of the first Scream film, where the cops interview everybody at the high school after Drew Barrymore and her boyfriend are killed in the opening scene, and that's what it reminded me of. And what we also saw was some trust issues start to unfold, because Kieran was kind of forced to, betray Emma by revealing that somebody had planted Jake's phone into her backpack without her knowing, which means that the killer is most likely one of her classmates, a Munster. I'm starting to get very suspicious of that Haley chick, the one that Emma slapped across the face earlier and had a scuffle with. This chick has had problems with our main character since the season 2 premiere, and she almost seems resentful of them because they seem to get special treatment in her eyes, and she almost seems like she's jealous of them in some weird way. She also physically reminds me a lot of Piper. She looks a lot like Piper. Is this a surrogate sister whom Piper grew up with? Was she adopted into a family and this chick was her little sister or something? Is she doing this for her sister's death? Is this vengeance? We don't know, but I am getting awfully suspicious of her. I do not think it is Stavo. Way too obvious of a suspect. Sure, he's a little creepy, great artist, but I actually felt kind of bad for him when Audrey called him out in the middle of all those scared kids, and she reveals on his iPad all of his, graphic novel art and design. He ends up getting his ass kicked, and his iPad is broken. But his dad intervenes before any more serious damage can be done. But Audrey was really starting to lose it, and she was also letting it slip that she had been in contact with the killer, because Noah picked up on that. He's like, "What do you mean, people? There's only been one death." Or, "What do you mean, calls?" I said texts. No, you said calls. I said texts. And Noah's starting to realize Audrey's been keeping secrets for a while now. And poor Brooke, oh man, she was broken. Absolutely broken. I think this was the worst we had seen her emotionally ever, because she was just upset about Branson being arrested for their sordid little affair, but not this upset. She was extremely, she was just heartbroken over poor Jake. You couldn't help but feel sorry for her, because she was absolutely devastated. And then what made it so much worse for her was realizing that she was probably in communication with the killer, who was posing as Jake using his cell phone to send her text messages. And then we also saw that the sheriff is very headstrong and determined to figure out who amongst the Lakewood Five, as he refers to them now, could be the killer. He even suspects Emma, and he's also looking through Jake's phone to figure out who the killer was in contact with. And poor Maggie has been relieved of duty and I totally get the sheriff's point. She's way too emotionally involved in the case because she has a direct link to the victim, and because of her history and her daughter's history. So she's been removed as the medical examiner, which kind of sucks, because she could have been useful as the police source to her daughter and her friends. But oh well, at least she didn't die or anything. But great episode. Very, very good episode. I don't think it's Stavo. Like I said, I felt pretty bad for him when he got his ass kicked. And now Noah has stolen Audrey's phone, looking at through her old messages to the killer, back and forth to the killer, and then sees that little video that the killer sent of her over Jake's body, removing the pins from it, saying, "Don't worry, I covered for you, partner." And now Noah knows that Audrey has not been completely honest with him or anybody else lately. And hopefully, I think we saw some healing happening between Zoe and Noah. I hope these two come together because, hey, anytime a nerd gets some, that's great. Anytime a nerd like him scores, that's like a victory for all of us nerds. Sorry, that may sound bad. It was interesting. We saw kind of a bit of a brief collapse in trust regarding Kieran's and Emma's relationship, but we saw some healing between Zoe and Noah. So it's like one couple is doing better than the other almost. It was just kind of an interesting little parallel, you could say. God, man, Kieran's cousin is so creepy. Man, he's creepy. Like, he's standing behind the bookcase, looking over the shelves, looking over the books like this, looking at Emma. He's like, I can dispose of a phone better than you. I'm just better at it. He seriously has got the creepiest hots for her, and he could not be more obvious about it either. And I don't think he could be the killer, but again, like Savo, way too obvious. I'm suspicious of both Haley, the chick that Emma slapped, and now her teacher, who also physically resembles Piper. Perhaps she is the surrogate sister and not Haley, and now she's carrying out Piper's mission because maybe she was the accomplice from season 1, or maybe she's back in town to get revenge for her sister. Just a theory, nothing confirmed. It's just a possibility I'm considering. Overall, great episode, and now it's really starting to pick up. Now the body count is probably going to start getting higher, which means we may lose a couple more characters, unfortunately, but all the more better for entertaining television. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this episode review here on the EdWord. I hope you enjoyed Scream the TV series as much as I did in last night's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more review videos. Also, check out my Facebook page in the description down below. I think you'll like what you see. Scream the TV series premieres every Tuesday night on MTV. Check it out. It's a lot of fun, and it's and it's got a lot of great thrills and suspense. All right, guys, have a great rest of the night. Thanks again for stopping by. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.